Welcome to the Beyond Physio podcast, where we help you move, excel, and inspire others on your journey to your next level with knowledge and advice from experts and testimonials from our like-minded community. Okay, so I'm here with Dr. Anthony, who just led the golf fitness workout with a bunch of high school guys from St. Joe's? St. Joe's,
Montvale.
Awesome. So, Anthony, why do you think it's important for golfers to doing, especially at a young age?
Yeah.
I mean, kids are pretty much really mobile and everything. Why is it important for kids to start early with their golf fitness?
Yeah, so as far as what I've been seeing a lot with the screens that we've been doing with St. Joe's is a lot of people, like you said, they're very mobile, they have a lot of range, but they can't control those ranges. And if you can't control those ranges on the golf course, even like a 2-degree difference in how the face makes contact with the ball is going to cause a 40-yard miss.
Wow.
So the more you can control those ranges, the more you can be confident in weight shifts, transfers, rotation, a lot of loss of hip internal rotation, something I see even though there is a lot of mobility. That stuff's going to make a difference. 30-yard differences, more consistent on the course, and better looks from college recruiters and stuff, because that's what all these guys are dealing with.
So I see. So basically we're looking at how to get them stronger and get them more in control.
Consistent, power, all that stuff,
Cool. And so at this age, you think it's dangerous for kids to work out? I've heard parents say, I don't know if my kids should I don't want them to get bulky, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely not. So I think like working out from a young age is something that in the past I think has been scary for some people, but I think it's you're thinking about people doing like maybe Olympic lifts, like that's not the stuff we're doing in here. We're doing a lot of body weight, we're doing a lot of rotational exercises, nothing that's really gonna like stunt anyone's growth. If that was the argument back then, I think there's a bunch of research to say that's kind of baloney. But on top of it, I think it's very important, especially at this high school age, to kind of step ahead of your competition so that you can, it's a very big world, youth sports now. We got anything you can do to get that level against your competition, I think it's super important.
So now, you mentioned hip internal rotation as being something that's lacking some golfers. What are some other areas that golfers should work on if they're looking to improve their overall golf game?
Yeah, so stability, 100%. And when I say stability, I'm talking like being able to move your shoulders independently from your lower body and moving your lower body independent from your shoulders. Those are the two biggest things in the golf swing that I see a lot of people aren't able to do. So their upper body likes to follow their lower body, and then that causes that whippy miss, whether it's a duck hook or like coming over the top in your swing. Those are the kind of things where if you're not doing stuff on your own outside of just swinging the golf club, you're not working out, you're not going to be able to get that stability, that dissociation between your upper and lower body. I think that stuff's really important. And I see a lot of loss of lat muscle length and shoulder external rotation. That's just going to kill your backswing and your shoulder turn. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then if you were to like say maybe 3 or 4 key exercises that all golfers should do from a younger age, what are like some of those things?
So I would say probably like anything that's going to help strengthen your core. So specifically what I like to do with my golfers is kind of pair a pull and a push exercise. So you'll see most people get some sort of like either landmine press variation with rotation, or like let's say like a single arm chest press, like a punch, something like that, paired with a rotational row, whether it's like a
cable
band
row
pull,
or
a
band
cable
pull.
column, or like a bent over row with an alternating reach.
I love the gorillas one today.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think any pairing an upper body rotational exercise with the opposite of push and a pull, and then same with the legs. So like some sort of split squat variation, and a hinge. The hinge is, I think, the most important thing for a young golfer to be able to replicate, because if they can't properly hinge to get into their posture, they're not going to be able to maintain it. And that's probably the biggest one. I would say some sort of hinge deadlift variation.
What do you think are the most, maybe 1 or 2 common compensations that you see in golfers that end up causing problems later?
Yeah, so the biggest, TPI has done all the research on what is the biggest miss that's going to cause low back pain, or like the biggest swing characteristic. The biggest one they found were early extension, which is either at some point during the takeaway coming towards the ball, because then they're going to have to bring their hands back, and they're usually going to have to stand up quick, and it's going to give that low back pain. Or reverse spine angle. So the reverse spine angle is when your hips follow your body and now you're pointed away from the ball. So now you're gonna have to do a lot of extra movement to get back. So I think the compensations are usually, what they do is they like to stand farther away from the ball so that they kind of make better contact, but that's actually gonna cause more early extension, make the problem even worse. Or with the rotation, they're gonna either stand up, lose posture, or they're gonna go down towards the ball on the way down to kind of get back towards the ball. Those are the two biggest things.
That's good. So then, and what are the common injuries that we see even in youth athletes as far as golfers go?
I would say pain between the shoulder blades is a big one because it's such a rotational sport. A lot of people try and set the scapula. They don't have that mobility into external rotation. Something's going to cause pain between the shoulder blades, and then one-sided low back pain, whether it's either trail side because they're trying to get too much side bend or lead side because they're rotating too quickly. And usually the QLs are super lit up when I kind of do my assessments on them.
So basically, we're looking at also ways to minimize risk of injury too from getting stronger and improving stability and mobility for golfers so that 100%. They can have a long-lasting career.
Exactly, and play back-to-back rounds. Like these qualifiers are full weekends. If you're not able to walk 72 holes in a weekend or walk 54 holes, whatever you're doing, on top of swing a club anywhere between 150 and 200 times, like the consistency is not going to be there. Your qualifier numbers aren't going to be there. You're not going to get looks from college. So you got to be able to do that stuff consistently and over a long period of time during the weekends.
Got it. I know for me growing up, gone are the days of the guys with the big beer belly. Everyone's just jacked now.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the sort of the trend in golf fitness
you still
now?
see some like unicorns, like you'll see like John Daly. I'm
That's
sure
John Daly,
he'll still be like 4 under on like one of the hardest courses. But yeah, for the most part, I look at guys like Bryson, like these guys just they hit the ball far. Even guys like Matt Fitzpatrick, who's like 5'8", 150 pounds soaking wet. Like his technique, his form, his mobility is what keeps him going. So you don't necessarily need to be jacked, but you do have to have proper stability, mobility, and timing between your movements, which all this stuff is going to help out with.
Got it. Now, we also know that there are guys who are certified in TPI. You are one of them.
Yeah.
And it's a rare certification. So why is that important to have that certification if you're going to be working with golfers, especially in the youth?
Oh, yeah. So TPI has done a great job in teaching me like what I can picture in, basically what we do is we do 2D movement analysis on pretty much every movement the TPI has us do. So squat patterns, overhead squats, any rotational movement, we kind of record our athletes and we pick up on things that other PTs might not. If they're just doing a typical normal like PT screen and not a TPI assessment, they might not see a certain movement that needs to be corrected that's more golf specific. So being able to do that screen gives us more goal-oriented plan of care that we can provide, and it gives us a better ability to kind of screen our athletes for rotational sports. So I think it's very important to be seeing someone who is TPI certified. If you're doing any rotational sport, whether it's golf, hockey, baseball, all that stuff, they all correlate.
That's great. And finally, as far as like working with golf pros, we're always about collaborating with professionals. We're not like looking to take away business or anything.
Yeah.
I think there's a great combination when you can take a physical therapist who's got the TPI certification and a golf pro with the TPI certification, and having that dialogue about the athlete can be really, really helpful.
100%. And I make sure that all the athletes we see, they know I'm not going to play with their grip. I'm not affecting their swing in terms of mechanics. I'm just doing the physical things that whether their golf pro tells me they need to work on or I see in my movement analysis, that's what we're working on. We're working on mobility, we're working on strength, rotation, and power, essentially.
Got it.
But the golf pro does all the swing stuff.
So now, if anyone's interested in the Bergen County area as far as getting their son or daughter involved in our golf fitness program, what's the best way to get involved?
So I would say reach out to us over either Instagram, DM. You can kind of contact us that way. You can call us up, and we'll do a free screen. We do the TPI screen that's it's pretty much all-inclusive. It's a full movement analysis screen, a full PT screen, and then we do either like a swing analysis, or if you have videos, you can send it to us, and we'll put it in the computer and analyze all that stuff, and then we'll give them an idea of whether either online work or in-person work is necessary, and what do we think would be better in terms of that. I think that'd be a great way to go about it.
That's great.
8 weeks. I think we do about 12 sessions, so we'll front load them like twice a week for the first 4 weeks, and then we keep it going for another 4 to 8 weeks, session by session, and then you should see a lot of good results. Club head speed improve, hopefully some improvement in your game. I can't really help the short game. That's not on me. That's on the swing coach and your golf pro. But in terms of power, distance, accuracy, I promise you'll see results.
That's awesome. Now, what I loved about today was that we saw a bunch of kids, high school boys, you know, like getting at it and really trying to work hard on these other skills that are going to help them on the golf course. And for people who are interested in our golf fitness, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I would say probably over, is this going to be on Instagram, this video? Yeah, so over Instagram, you can shoot us a DM. You can reach out on our website too. There's a link to sign up for our golf screen and golf program. So stuff like that, easy ways to get in touch with us, and then we'll reach back out to you.
Fabulous. So Dr. Anthony Margiotta here, who is our golf expert at Next Level Physio in Wookaf Lake. So if you're in the Bergen County area and looking for a solution for your son or daughter who's a rising golfer and wanting to make sure that your child has the best golf experience because they have the mechanics physically
to be able to endure all the tournaments coming up. This is the best way to do that. We want to make sure that your kids are safe, they're strong, they're mobile, and that they're in it for the long haul. Dr. Anthony, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for tuning into today's episode. It really does mean a lot to us. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, or comment if you got at least one or two helpful insights or takeaways to help you get to your next level.